Martis Valley West project is a combined conservation and development plan. Our partner, Sierra Pacific Industries, owns land on either side of State Route 267. As you're coming through Martis Valley from Truckee on 267, to the left or the east of 267, SPI owns 6,376 acres to the east. And to the west of 267, adjacent to North Star, they own another approximately 1,100 acres of land. The Martis Valley Community Plan identifies where future development may occur in the Martis Valley area. And per the Martis Valley Community Plan, there's a portion of SPI's land to the east of 267 that has been identified for future development within Martis Valley. And that parcel is currently zoned for up to 1,360 residential units within the east parcel. To date, all the development in Martis Valley has actually occurred to the west of 267. So per the Martis Valley Community Plan to date, we've had North Star, LaHont, and Martis Camp, and Schaefer's Mill all developed to the west of 267. And the land to the east of 267, for all intents and purposes today, is open space. And there's a lot of great recreational opportunities on that land that people are enjoying today. But the reality is that's actually private land owned by Sierra Pacific Industries, and per the Martis Valley Community Plan, a portion of that could be developed.
So about 10 years ago, conversations started between the landowners, Sierra Pacific Industries, and the developer, the applicant, which was East-West Partners, now Mountainside Partners, with conservation groups, Mountain Area Preservation, Sierra Watch, the Truckee-Donner Land Trust, and the Trust for Public Land. And I think the one common goal that the conservation partners had in mind was the fact that we wanted that last large landscape in Martis Valley to be permanently protected, not allowing a large subdivision to ever come down the road or, heaven forbid, another ski resort, which is actually what SPI wanted in the early 80s with that land. And so that's really what kicked off the conversations. And that east side parcel is currently zoned Timberland Production Zone, TPZ, and residential. And so during the Martis Valley Community Plan update, there was an allowance for 1,360 units and 6.6 acres of commercial, but that's a designation. And so it's basically a zoning allowance under the general plan. The concept was that if the groups could agree to future development to swap a designation to the west side, but that's a designation, meaning moving potential future development to another side where there's not inherent development rights. And so that was really the concept of conversations 10 years ago, and really sort of what kicked off the process of looking at a potential land use designation swap. In 2015, they announced the Brockway campground. We continued our opposition on that. We continued to request that they sell that land. We were very aware that conversations between the U.S. Forest Service and the California Tahoe Conservancy had at least started by, I want to say, the end of 2015. And so the announcement today is great. We don't feel that any development is warranted on that ridgeline. It's not appropriate for housing, and it's really questionable if it's appropriate for camping, knowing the constraints that 267 is already receiving, fire danger, and that it's already an access point for recreation, whether it be Granite Chief Wilderness or the Tahoe Rim Trail. So we're happy that they finally worked with partners to work on a purchase and sale agreement. We know that it's going to take, till December of 2017 to close on that, but it doesn't affect the fact that the Martis Valley West project has still grave and detrimental impacts to not only Martis Valley, but the Lake Tahoe Basin. And so we're still very concerned with the scale of the proposal and are opposed to what will be going to the Board of Supervisors on September 13th.
I think it's helpful for people to think about the big SPI property in three pieces. So if you were in Truckee and you headed up 267 towards North Lake Tahoe, most of the land is on your left, and that's the east side. That's the Martis Peak property, and that's the piece that everyone agrees, landowners, Sierra Watch, our allies, should be permanently protected. On the other end of the property, you have a piece that goes into the Tahoe Basin, and again, that was proposed for a sprawling subdivision, and then for the big resort campground. We argued all along that it should be permanently protected, and as of today it is. So that's great news. And then there's one more piece in between, and that's the property that's proposed to be developed as part of this Martis Valley West proposal. We think we can get to an agreement, hopefully, where that development is severely limited. It's way too big right now, and could fit into this bigger piece of a responsible blueprint for the whole area. As far as what the answer for the Martis Valley West piece of their property should be, I think the question that really needs to drive that is how much traffic can we handle? And right now, through the environmental review process for that development, we've seen that it would produce way too much traffic. That's why, for example, the California State Attorney General sent in a letter this week saying, hey, this project would be really bad for Tahoe. So I think the key question is there is going to be, is there a level of development that doesn't pump too much traffic into our crowded roads? And I can't tell you the answer to that right now, but we're eager to look at opportunities to see if there is something that could be done that would be a win for everyone.